Okay, well, I was poo-pooing the hire of Mike. Is it Wooden or Woodson? I'm not sure.
Oh, here we go. Here
Oh
we
my
go,
God.
man. Come
Like
on.
Woodson.
It's Woodson, like son
Any,
of wood.
anyway, right out of the box there, he got Xavier Johnson, a guard from Pitt, who is a real good one, and he would play well with Trace Davis. So I just wanted to say that Woodson has really helped out himself there early on. So we'll see what happens from there. And apparently, a couple of the people that were in the portal are backing out of the portal. I'm not sure where all that is, but that's IU. T, do you have anything from the IU? That's your.
With the IU, I was just going to say, kind of like with you, I will backtrack a little bit on Woodson in that Bob Kravitz for The Athletic wrote a good piece where how it talked about how he talked Trace Jackson Davis back, and essentially, with his background in the NBA, he told him it's like you need to work on a lot. He was not overly warm to him. He was telling him like, you need to add this to your game. You need to add this to your game. You're lacking this. You need to do this. And supposedly Trace Jackson Davis was adamant that he'd go to the NBA. And then he talked with Mike Woodson for like 2 hours. And he came out of the room and he told Trace Jackson Davis, like, you're going to stay at IU.
Well,
so that says a lot about him. And then, to be fair, I think most of the guys that entered the transfer portal, I haven't looked yet. I don't think Franklin's come back, but pretty much everyone who entered the portal has now come back. And they brought in Dane Fife, obviously a loved folk hero IU player.
You gotta have guys like that.
Defender.
Yes.
But at least was one of the top assistants for Michigan State. So obviously that's some good pedigree to come in. And, I feel better. And also the main thing I'll just take – the last thing I'll say on the IU thing, the thing that was really telling, and they didn't really get into it because I guess Trace Jackson was trying to hold back, the way he kind of talked, he didn't say anything in particular. It really like Archie lost all those kids.
Yep.
Like he didn't say it specifically, but he's like, this is positive. Like I was in such a bad place.
Mentally checked out. Is that right?
Yeah, I'm just paraphrasing a little bit, but it's like, oh my God.
Yep.
And if the best players like that, everyone on the team's like that. So I'll just say he's done a good job in a very short period of time.
Well, and I was going to say U of L picked up University of Florida sharpshooting guard Noah Locke, announced he's transferring to U of L, and he apparently is quite the 3-point shooter, 6'3" guard. So, hey, maybe things are picking up for the local teams.
Yeah. Well, and Mac also got Ellis and Mike James, 2 guards, and the 3 of them, their shooting percentage from 3 is 39 and 40%. So they will have some power. Now, Carleek is declaring or is checking out the NBA, but he still will keep his eligibility. So that could be something. I think David Johnson is gone. And the only real question is Malik Williams. Sadly, I just don't think the man physically can take the pounding. They need to get themselves a big man in a bad way, just because Malik, even though he's beloved and gives it everything he's got, I don't know if physically he can manage it. So U of L, though, people are talking they're at least top 15 in the pre-season polls of folks that I've, And then I was just going to, if you guys have any other comments about U of L.
Nope.
I was just going to say UK is going for guards, and they got themselves a big man, and I think I'm going to butcher his last name, Oscar Shibway, I think.
It's Woodson, I think. Woodson.
Okay.
And like that.
They also got my favorite name. UK always gets people with great names.
Yep.
Is this guard Rocket Watts. And he's actually from Michigan State. So they're out there. This is the new state of basketball with the transfer portal is perfect for Calipari. I mean, he can make deals. I mean, it's like free agency. He can get himself some players.
I'll just say real quick off of what you're saying. Rocket Watts is a very good name, but I still think, again, keeping it in just the UK, Cavassier Smoke is still maybe number one.
I had that on my list. It was bring it up. Yes, sir. That was the classic. Smoke. Yeah. He's smoking for a touchdown. And I want to mention this little tidbit. Bobby Petrino, fired from the University of Louisville in 2018. After taking a year off, he inherits a 1-10 Missouri State Bears program and guides them to the Missouri Valley Conference Football Championship in the FCF, formerly 1AA, division this year in spring football. That's wild stuff, guys. He can still coach. Baggage and all. Baggage? It's a lot of baggage.
Yeah.
Again, it was like with Petrino. I don't think any of us ever thought he couldn't coach. It's some of the things around coaching that with Petrino.
The extracurricular activity, neck brace, motorcycle accident,
Well, sadly, that when you Google Bobby Petrino, the first thing that pops up is that picture of him in the neck brace from Arkansas. How many years ago was that now? 6 or 7 years ago? Yeah. It's a bad look, man. Why did he do that? But he is who he is. Yeah. And Lutz was asking, what does Mr. Petrino make at Missouri State? $250,000 a year. So I guess, you get what you get.
I mean,
but as you were saying, he's got a good bank account from our tax dollars here from U of L. So
a $14 million buyout.
Yeah,
that'll buy you some motorcycles. Mm-hmm.
And an extra neck brace or two, I'm sure.
Okay, what else did you want to talk about tonight? We got a little time left.
Godspeed, Julian Edelman. He retires after 12 years. He helped out with 3 championships for the Patriots. So, that guy, I don't think he'll be going into the Hall of Fame, but I got to say, anytime that Brady needed something and wanted it bad, he could throw it to Edelman.
I will say, and I hate bringing this up because it sounds like I'm glorifying and I'm not. But like one of the main things that sticks out to me about Julian Edelman is when they beat the Seahawks for that Super Bowl. If you go back, I want to say it was Cam Chancellor. He detonated him, and he was concussed. And if you watch it, like again, he was just going off instinct. He was not mentally there at all. He was running like arrow routes and like he was running like getting first downs and he scored a touchdown early. But I'm just saying this: if you watch the open mics where they do those for the Super Bowls, after they win, he goes up to Brady. He's like, "I love you, man." And Brady's like, "I love you too, man." He's like, "I love you, man." He's like, "All right." And he goes, "I love you, man." He's like, that indicates to you right there. Like, hopefully, NFL's improved their concussion protocol because there's no way in hell that man was mentally there.
Edelman's one of those guys that worries me about CTE because he was like a rubber ball, like others before him in the slot, just taking a beating and getting hammered and not that big a guy. And it's just, wow.
And I just wanted to note a fun thing that could happen later in the summer. UFC's Julian Marquez challenged Kelsey, Mahomes, and Hill to do a little pickleball for charity. And apparently it is going to happen once they get everybody on. Well, I think Marquez had to have some sort of operation after his fight. But as soon as he gets back to health, they're going to do a little pickleball in KC for the charity. They haven't picked the charity yet. So I think that's just a cool thing.
Is that going to be at Center Court in Wimbledon, or what are we talking about here? What is that exactly?
Well, I mean, if it's in July, they'll probably put it on ESPN or something. You know they're going to do it. I mean, wouldn't that just be funny?
On the deuce.
Hey,
yeah.
We already know they could also get, they could get Drew and Mark Few from the championship, coaches. They play pickleball together, so like they could go against them. Like, let's get as many people in this as we can. So,
Yeah.
Coaches versus UFC guys and the next pickleball championship.
Yeah.
It's a strategy.
Okay, well, that'll be about it then, I guess. This has been Sports and Other Stuff, brought to you in part by Big Top TV, the big screen store, provider of our 90-inch flat screens right here on this very set. Look out, they're bright. You stop in there and you ask for
fish.
Yeah.
And just to get fish, and we will do a special on fireworks. It's called prayer fireworks. You set them off and you pray you don't get killed. So that's it.
Fireworks, big screen TVs, it's all there at the big screen store. This is the Sport Weasels. This is Sports and Other Stuff. Wishing you good hunting, fishing, boating, and camping. We'll catch you next time. So long for now.